Richie the God.
Melly in your head, boy.
Through the way. Come up way realer than people gon' think. Ain't no way. I'ma sit around, have me not a thing. Going too hard, but I can't relax. I don't need no breaks. Tell them all gas, no brakes. Niggas can't really relate. Came from the mud, no rake. I'm trying to make a play round base. Always took the shot like Nate. Nigga really trying to be great. Ain't no time for the details. Putting in work all late. Nigga really trying to be great. Through the way. Through the way. Through the way. Through the way.
All right, welcome to Through the Way podcast, the podcast where we talk about the different experiences of the everyday athlete. On today's episode, we're going to take you back to the year 2005 in Davidson County. I've gathered a few of the guys that I've met, competed against, and played with during my time in high school. So I'm just going to go around the room and everybody introduce yourselves and the school that you went to. Start with Beast.
Brandon Taylor went to Thomasville. Call me Beast.
Coccaro Smith, y'all probably know me as Coco or Coke. I went to Central.
Shelton, Leverette. I went to Lexington.
Javon Stocks, Lexington, number 45. Know me as Fonzie.
Now, some of these guys I competed against since my freshman year, and then Coco, we played together on the AAU team, and Beast, we played together on the AAU team. Kappa Magic, shout out Kappa Magic. So, guys, thank you for coming today. We're just gonna talk about experiences in high school. You know, some of us had rivalries. Lexington, Thomasville, that's probably the biggest rivalry in Davidson County, and it's still going on today. Fellas, can you talk about what went through your mind, you know, every time you guys were lining up against each other on the court, every match at Thomasville or at Lexington, because it was always packed. It was always sold out for that game. So tell me how you guys felt.
Well, for us, Thomasville, growing up, like seeing all the guys before us, Nick Means and Roy Pete and Big Show playing in that game, and then us playing in it, it was always going to Lexington. For me, that it was the game to go to. Fans was always there, nowhere to sit. You know, looking across the court, seeing Juju, Leverette, Rock. It's like, man, gotta go get this dub. Got to.
Yeah, I know. For me, it was like the one you had to have, or the two. Like, really, ain't no other games matter. It was really
it was y'all's Duke versus Carolina. Yeah.
It was like we can't lose to them. Like, we can lose to Central, we can lose to Leverette, we can lose to anybody. But when you lose to them, you gotta hear it until you see them again.
Nah, I don't know about the Leverette. I don't think I've ever lost to Leverette in high school.
Oh no, that's just an example.
Yeah,
we can lose. We can lose to anybody. We just can't lose to them.
Yeah, but it was like the game. It speak for itself. Like, there wasn't no extra motivation needed. We was already, like, it was a buzz about it way before we even got there, way before tip-off, where it's basically like that off-season game where all your work go towards just that moment. So, I mean, we went at it. We had some battles with it, but it was all worth it at that point.
But you two played football against each other at the same time.
We went at it football and basketball. So, like, that football rivalry, it was about trying to break the break the streak, which we ain't get done, but hey, we had them on the ropes.
What was that streak?
That was a classic.
What was the streak?
Football arms.
Thomasville was a power.
Man, what was a 100-0? Nah, I'm playing.
Hey, that's what it felt like.
Nah, man, but football.
That was low beast.
That was like, don't lose the legs. Like, football-wise, you do not lose the legs. I remember first play of the game, my man took it 80 yards. 80 yards, gone to the crib. Coach was like, hey, now, y'all got to tighten up.
That was the Cole County player. Yeah.
It was a slugfest, like, man. That, like, out of one game now, if we could have that, it was definitely that one, because we was up deep in the fourth, and then if it's one thing we always know, you cannot count Thomasville out, and we ain't finished. Like, That's been the MO the whole time, and it still is. You can never count Thomasville out. It's something different over there.
I actually wanted to play Thomasville in high school because I wanted to go against DeVars. You know, DeVars was always he was on our AAU team too, and DeVars was like one of the top DBs in the county. And at that time, I was like, hey, he was talking. I was like, man, I want to go against DeVars because at that time I think I was the best receiver in the county.
You had that.
So,
yeah.
and you know, I always wanted to play Thomasville, but they never put them on the schedule, I guess. So,
man, let me tell you, playing with Tavares Henderson, that guy was the GOAT.
He had that dog.
When I tell you,
yeah.
he had it all.
He had that dog.
Football wise, locked down anybody.
He had that dog.
Basketball wise, man, it was like, shh,
He was a strict dog.
you better guard him.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Man, and then AAU, when our team was, whew, that team was amazing. Try to get them all to come to Thomasville his senior year. You know?
all right, so the story with me going to Thomasville is like Midway is so close to Thomasville, and Midway is actually not in Davidson County. It's out. The street that I lived on is outside of the county line. So my house, my grandma's house, who I stayed with, is technically not in Davidson County. It's in Forsyth County. So I could have went to Thomasville. It was talk about me leaving my junior year after football to go play basketball. So, and you know, I thought about it. I didn't want to leave the school that I already established in, so I stayed. I missed out on a few rings though.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I heard about it as soon as I got to Winston because my roommate was Everett House, and Everett had transferred from Oklahoma. And Eric came in, he was a point guard, and got him a ring. So I had to hear about it. I had to see that ring in the room. And
That's
so,
tough.
But you know, playing, I don't think I would have got the same looks if I had went to Thomasville because North was still 4A, and Thomasville, the team was already stacked.
Big difference.
Yeah.
So I don't think the points per game or the rebounds, it'd have been dispersed between you. I wouldn't have got half the rebounds. So it was a good and bad, but
Well, now that you talk
Think about that difference you would have made on the football field, though, too. Like, oh my God.
scary.
Man, had you and Trey Ray out there? Man.
But I about ended up at North a few times too, cause your coach did some tampering.
should have. Man. A lot of
Your
people
coach,
should have.
I wasn't at them open gyms for no reason. I got an invite.
Man, well, our last few years at North,
It was
we've
11th and
we've
12th.
We had a few Lexington guys. I'm talking about our years, but I'm talking about last few recently.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of Lexington guys transfer over.
You can't blame these kids right now. Like, to be honest with you, like, you really can't blame them.
And with that, you know, I heard a lot of talk about stuff going on in Lexington, stuff going on in Thomasville. Now, do you think Thread should have got that coaching job?
Yeah, I feel like we need to keep it within the community. We just gotta rally and support more. But like we gotta have somebody in here and like it's the support thing more or less that you don't see at Lexington, Thomasville that you'll see as much in the county. And that's like a lot of the uphill battle that we seeing now. Like as you get older, you understand like it's a lot that goes into that and it matter. We gotta do better at it, you know what I mean, starting it off, but we definitely should have kept it around, kept it local.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Thread, he played for Lexington. You know, didn't he play on the championship team?
Championship team.
And
He would walk in the gym and point every time.
I remember him interviewing for the job, and it seemed like he had it. But I guess they went with a different direction, and you know, it's just a hard game to get into. So, but Coach, we ain't gonna leave you out, man. Tell me about your experiences at Central, because I know Central. To me, when I was growing up, I saw Central as like the little brother to Lexington, because Central was in Lexington.
Exactly.
So, and just like Leverette and East was like the little brother to Thomasville. So, just talk about your experiences at Central.
I mean,
the uphill battles.
honestly, Central was a good and bad thing for me because at Lexington, I was trying to be the cool guy, the funny guy. You know, the girls there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was on, but academically, I was failing. So I went to Central and got my grades together. And then, you know, like you were saying just previously, like I can go to Central and be the star. I go to Lexington, I'm going to just fill the roster. So I go to Central, it's all about me. And I'm a student athlete. I'm able to be successful beyond the basketball court. But on the basketball court, there's a lot that I dealt with because of who I was.
Right.
And my upbringing. So, like when I play Lexington, I'm telling my coach, I play with these guys. I just left the YMCA with them last night, you know. Let me play my game. As soon as I hit a crossover, as soon as I throw a behind the back pass, I'm on the bench. As soon as, you know, I'm doing too much, I'm benched. I don't know if y'all remember that playing against me, but
Bro, I remember that clearly.
I couldn't play my game.
No biases. Like, that's cuz. But if you look at that bench, you over there looking like, how is he not in the game? I literally said to the coach, it was one play where I went down the court, went past their bench, and I said, man, put him in the game to their coach. Like, it's ridiculous. That probably didn't help.
I
But
wasn't complaining because when Coach was in, he was doing his thing.
yeah.
Like, there's a picture that I seen that I remember. He's doing like a finger roll over somebody from West Davidson. Yeah, I was like, man, his game felt like it was Derrick Rose's, and it was just like the way he was playing. He was smooth like that. So you know, when he went out, I was like, I took a sigh of relief. I do it to everybody.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to play on the court without him on the court. Because he was always guarding me, or I was always guarding him.
That's a fact.
And then even when he went out, y'all still had twins, or y'all still, you know, had someone else to guard me.
Right.
And playing against y'all was stressful.
North Davidson was a game that we had circled on the calendar too. It wouldn't be up there with Thomasville, but you didn't have to say too much to get us ready to go play North.
And I think y'all were ready to play us simply because we were 4A.
Yeah,
we were a bigger school.
It felt like we had to try to prove a point. You know what I mean? Like it was a chip on our shoulder already because Thomasville was over here winning stuff. It's like this our rival. We gotta do something. Like let's go over here. Let's see where we at with the 4A. But man, them years going to get small though. It was a tough sled.
That was literally it, man. Besides Reedsville, it was Thomasville, North, Reedsville. Couldn't get over the hump of Reedsville. Had some trouble with Thomasville. Either we split one or we down two. And same with y'all with North. So
I mean,
yeah, I already knew I had my hands full.
Y'all beat us 14-0.
I was the
Maul
one
scored both of the touchdowns just like that. It was like, we take him out the game, we might be able to go toe to toe with him.
And I was like, man, and Coach Holcomb said, who was my high school coach in football. He said it after the game that he should have thrown to me more. The score of our game was 14-0. I had 3 catches and 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
So
every
other catch, I had a touchdown.
If you do the
but
averages.
it's like, I think that was it just my junior year because we wanted to establish a run game, and now today everything is a pass.
Everything's pass.
So I wish I was playing, you know, in today's game, but I don't wish I was playing in today's basketball game. Like, could y'all imagine, like last year playing in mass?
Yeah.
We're missing half the season
missing
because
half
somebody
of it.
else on the other team has COVID.
Yeah, just contact tracing.
Man, it's already hard to breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe not for those
Yeah, wear a
reasons.
mask?
Maybe not for those reasons, but definitely because the stretch is more in. A more versatile big is like worshipped. When back then you just more or less had to be a big. Like you shooting multiple things. I know that gave you free reign, but you shooting multiple threes and like an abundance of threes was not the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like even though you could shoot, you know what I'm saying? That just wasn't the thing. Like big people, you just don't shoot like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do like that about this time, where it's like if you can shoot, you can stretch it out, let people work.
More freedom to the game.
Yeah, it's more freedom in the game.
I think it's easier now though.
Definitely.
Like I talk to the kids, you know, I'm a teacher, so I tell the kids like, y'all couldn't have guarded us. Y'all soft, y'all don't play defense. Like y'all couldn't have made it in the era that we came up. We had to play defense. Like the guards, that you had to play defense. As soon as the ball come in, we pressing. I go to the games, I don't even see them doing the press, trapping, nothing. Like how you gonna win a game like that? But
Yeah, we were in here talking. I think before you were in here, we were talking about Justin Strickland.
Yeah.
Chasing him around. That's crazy.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I don't envy you guards, man, because I know Davidson County was guard heavy, and I know y'all were chasing Roscoe around too.
Oh my God.
We had the pick. We had the pick. So
Oh
it's like,
God.
in the locker room, it's like, okay, who are we going to focus on tonight? Roscoe or Juju? One of them going to have that game. It's like, all right, well, Roscoe had 35 last night. Let's get him. And my whole, like, that's cuz, so I'm letting him shine. So I'm focusing on Roscoe. Like, I got Roscoe. Ju, do your thing. I got took out the game because I didn't foul him one game.
Yeah. On a
This
fast
is
break
bad.
dunk.
In the Christmas tournament.
It comes to a point where you don't want to hurt nobody. Even if he wasn't, you didn't know him, like, you don't want to hurt nobody on the fast break, because at the end, we still got to go back to school. We got lives. We still don't want to hurt nobody. But and the Christmas tournament was something different. Like, I hated and I loved when Thomasville left.
Oh, y'all was lucky. Y'all was lucky.
I didn't want to play Thomasville, but at the same time, I think that kind of messed up the whole county thing that we had.
It took away.
Yeah,
Took away from
when Thomasville left, I think they brought in a Gifford County school, and it just didn't feel right.
You knew you was the king of the county. You won the Christmas tournament
Christmas,
there
yeah.
for
Yeah,
everybody
everybody
waiting
that's
for
a
it.
fact. That's a fact.
And and the Christmas tournament was the one time where you get to play somebody you didn't play or normally. Like, my whole high school career, I played South Davidson one time. I played West Davidson one time, and that was in the Christmas tournament.
We never played them. We never played West. We
Really?
never played South.
In basketball?
We played.
West Davidson, South Davidson?
South Davidson in conference.
Yeah, man, but they was.
That was career night.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eat that night.
Exactly.
Like, we could have used one of those games. That would have helped us out in a major way. Cause
I remember
No shots to South Davidson.
Yeah, I remember
they
that
beat
game.
Lexington now, so hey. Like,
That was the worst game in my life because they played so slow. Like, the pace of their game was slow. They were in zone. I think they may have been boxing one on me, so I didn't touch the ball. I had like maybe 12 points.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So
they had to play to their stretch.
yeah.
That was the
It
only
worked,
way.
huh?
They hated me.
Slow it down.
That was career night.
Man, but yeah, we were talking earlier about the Christmas tournament, and I felt like we were close. We couldn't get over that hump because my junior year we made it to the championship game and we lost to East Davidson because they had Mitch. Mitch had transferred back from Side Country Day, so we had beat them already twice that season.
Oh,
We
that's,
couldn't beat them the third time
that's tough.
off of something. So all right, we lost.
Watch that one.
Yeah, we lost the championship game my junior year, and my senior year come back, our third game. We had split the regular season, so we played again, and I swear we were down 20 points to y'all. We came back, but we never could break it, so we ended up losing to you guys, and then y'all lose to East Davidson, who we beat twice already. So I felt like that was our rematch moment in the Christmas tournament. Like, we should have got East Davidson in the championship.
But
Matchups.
I got for that for that game, we had two epic highlights because you came down court, they gave it to you going fast break. He dunked on me. I'm gonna give him. He caught me. I jumped it on. I didn't
remember
get it.
that.
He
You never
yammed
left the
on
top.
me. He yammed on me. Everybody went crazy.
came
I'm sitting there thinking like, I'm not leaving like this. I'm gonna get him some type of way. A shot went up. I had to get it. I had to get it. Shot went up. He went up for the rebound. I caught it over him. Yammed it. It was somebody hanging from the rafters. They were hanging from the rafters. Like, they were literally hanging from the rafters. That's like the biggest point of like my probably career is like that exchange, because it was back-to-back plays, and I never seen nothing to the point or play where back-to-back plays, people run out the gym. Like,
It doesn't happen anymore because the game today, like, I guess the crowd isn't into it, or the players aren't just how we were back in the day. Like, it's a different breed of athletes now in high school. Like, they're a lot shorter. I don't remember anybody on North's team the last couple of years who were over 6'5". So,
I mean, as a coach, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to shoot. Everybody wants to shoot. Nobody wants to get down low and bang no more. When we was in school, you know, we'd bang.
You damn sure would.
Yeah.
if you guys can't see, Beast is 6'8".
16, man. Come on now.
Are we 16?
Oh, well, in high school, 6'8".
Beast has been the same size since
I'm
middle
telling
school.
you,
So
same side. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, you ain't getting no help on that.
And he was also a nose tackle in football, so
yeah.
you're not moving him.
But being the coach at Ragsdale, how do you go about, you know, telling the kids or giving the kids roles of, you know, what they should do, what the free range of what they'd have, you know, today?
So with the squad we got now, man, we got kids who can be a slasher. We got shooters. So it's like you kind of play to your strengths. You know, you can live by the three, but you can also die by the three. You know, and we tend to do that sometimes. You know, when we get the ball inside, we do have a big 6'5". You know, he can finish, but we're missing that big. You know, playing in 4A, you know, you need them. You know, so I mean, we're in the playoffs right now, so you know I'm ready.
Give that game time.
Yeah, hey, Tuesday, 7 o'clock, we got Mount Tabor at Ragsdale.
I remember a game against Mount Tabor, junior year. That's big. Like, there's a difference between little 4A and big 4A. We were little 4A. Mount Tabor was big 4A.
Yeah.
Like, they had athletes because the city of Winston-Salem was much bigger than Davidson County. Like, so we had a tough schedule. Like, but I think in Davidson County it was also tough because on any given night, anybody can catch you, and I feel like we had a good crop of athletes in our county, and I honestly believe if you took the top 15 of Davidson County, I think we could have competed with anybody in Winston or around or in Gifford County.
Yes,
Definitely.
I would take that.
Because we had the talent. It's just we were just on the different sides of the county.
Yeah,
It's all going against each other. Anything.
that's crazy.
But we had some great battles. Central, Lexington, East Davidson, Leverette. There's a story in my JV year against Leverette. I was coming down and I was going up for a layup, and this guy blocked me, right? So his dad is in the stands. His dad is like, "You got blocked 24, boo." So I'm like, he fouled me. So I'm going to free throw line. He's sitting there talking. He's standing up. I hit the first one. I turn over and I do this to him, right? So then he's still standing up and he grabs his crotch. So wow, I'm still at the free throw line. I'm laughing and I missed the second one. I come back down. The very next play, I catch it on the wing and I drive baseline and I dunk it. And my coach at the time, JV coach, looked at him and was like, "Sit down." He didn't say a word for the rest of the game.
You gotta love that.
It's like certain things that you remember, and with me, I think my biggest memory or my biggest thing that made me was having a in the paint dunk against West Forsyth, because everybody was coming to see Chris Paul in that game, and I remember sitting on the bench. We didn't score at all the first quarter. We were down 25-0. So I remember sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter. Coach, it's like beginning of the first quarter. Coach Hurt comes down. He was like, "Jamal, I want you to get the ball, and I want you to dunk it every time. I want you to try to dunk it every time." So I was like, "Okay." So I get in. I catch the ball on the wing, and I jab step to the baseline, and I go middle, and I'm driving. And I see Chris Noble. I'm like, I'm passing to Chris because Chris was the man. And I remember Coach Hurt. Coach Hurt saying, "No, just dunk it." So I hop step and I went up, two hands, bang. Crowd went wild because we hadn't scored in a while. so they went wild and they had to stop the game. And I was like, man, I didn't know at that moment how big it was
Those high level
because
ball.
then people were coming to see Chris Paul. So that started getting looks from Division I schools, and I just.
What were you doing on JV, though? Like, there's no chance you would have ever been on JV at Lexington.
No chance.
Coach Hurt wanted me to get more experience in the game. Like I played half my season on JV and then the other half.
I
on
remember
varsity.
because you about dunked on that game whenever we came to North, and I was like, "What is he doing on JV?" Like,
what
nobody else is
here?
doing this. But
What are you doing
Like,
here?
I never wanted to leave JV. If you ask anybody, I never wanted to leave JV because we had a game in, I think our very first game on JV we played Central, and I went up for a dunk and I missed it. Coach took me out because I missed it. He's like, if you gonna dunk, you better make it. So I got taken out because I missed the dunk. Came back down, I did a vert dunk, and I made it. That was my first dunk on JV. Now we go to South Iredale, which I still to this day don't know why South Iredale was in our conference. It's like an hour and a half away.
they ended up coming to ours.
They did.
And we were playing, and I had like 6 fast break dunks. And I was just dunking and dunking. They weren't playing any defense. So we had them a couple more weeks, in a couple weeks. So I come to practice, right? Coach Hurt comes with me. I'm gonna move you up to varsity. The very next, we were gonna play South Iredale again at home.
Oh, you was gonna show out.
So I was gonna try to do the same thing at home in front of my people. So he's like, nah, you gonna move to varsity. So I had to take that 1 hour and a half drive back down to South Iredale, sit on the bench, and at that time they had Michael Ellis. Michael Ellis
He was a
averaged
bucket.
30-something points
He was a
a
bucket.
game. So I sat there and watched him go off for 30 again. So we came back, and I think that's when we had Davey and then West Forsyth. So that was
that your
my
10th
first
or-
that was my 10th grade year. That was my
Yeah.
first introduction to varsity. How fast the speed was.
Because that's when I remember
I gotta
coming
ask
back my junior year. Like, when did he turn into the Hulk?
I just want to know. I thought we was cool though. Like, why you did me like that at home at Central? Why you had to do me like that?
I try to dunk every single time.
Man, listen, let me tell y'all how he did me, right? So, I sent her.
Sound like you been holding on to this.
Seth thinking he's shooting a 3. Outlet. It's me back. 3-on-1. Jamal in the middle. They throw it to the left. My dumb self, I go over there, try to take the pass. I spun back. He like a foot in from the free throw line and cocked it back. So me, I'm like, I'm gonna try to block it. So I patted down. I block it, right? He took it from one hand to 2 inches. Ugh. Crowd went crazy. I didn't fell against the wall. I'm mad. So I'm like, I got to dunk. I'm dunking. I got to dunk so I try to catch one off the rim. Bing. Coach took me out. Ended the game. So
Why though?
man, cause I knew what was finna happen. So I knew what he was about to do, but I was like, okay, maybe if I like touch the ball, he'll try to just reverse it. But the way he took off, and once I said, oh, it's over. Boom, 2 hands. I said, oh my God.
I had some good memories at North. But just to wrap things up, we're gonna go around the table and just give some words of wisdom of the coming up athletes today, athletes that aspire to play high school ball, or if they want to go to the next level to play at college. Any words that you have for them. Beast, we'll start with you.
Same thing I tell my kids every day. Never give up. Nothing comes easy. If you want it, you got to go take it. Simple as that.
That could have been on the commercial.
Come on.
I think for me, I never let the game come to me. I was thinking too much. I was thinking like, I have to do a certain thing, but our coach used to tell us all the time, have fun. I never did that because I was too worried about making a mistake, but I knew I was better than what I was allowing myself to be, and at the end of the game, I'll be so frustrated. So one advice I would give is just play the game that you know and enjoy it. Like, play each game like it's your last, and I promise you, like, just let your game develop as it's supposed to and work. Hit the gym, work on your shot, work on your fundamentals. And, man, there's so much talent in this county. I hate seeing every year I watch a kid develop into something, and he don't keep going with it. And it's like every year we wasting talent just to the streets or to something. Like us as a community, one, we need to get more involved in these children. We need to start developing them student athletes and, just building a profile because we wasting talent. So the advice I would give, just play the game, enjoy it, and stop rushing to try to be an adult. Enjoy being a kid.
That's a fact.
Yeah, big facts.
That's big facts. But I would say, like, whatever you're going to do, like, just put your all into doing it. And don't limit yourself because there's really so many resources, so many things, and you'll get the support behind you. Just show that you really want to be into it. And don't set limits on yourself because the world is so much out there. Athletes, you can make it happen, like, everywhere. Different things. Explore it all. See what's you. And don't give up on it. It'll pan out good.
That's a fact. I would say, going from my own experiences, academics, that's number one. Like, you can't be anything without your academics at this point. And I took that for granted. And that'll take you a long way. You can't go further than your mind, and with that being said, you got so many outlets that you could take advantage of as far as academics, and then the basketball, that'll follow. But everything they said was right as far as the court, but please get your academics.
All right, appreciate that, guys. Thank you for stopping through the way. I appreciate it. These guys I've known since high school. All good guys, man. They're all good guys.
And so are you.
Thank you. But that wraps this episode of Through the Way. Join us again next time.